I have been scouting out the park for the past few days here for the best places to build in Grounded 2. Let's dive into it. If you go just south of the trash can in Grounded 2, you'll find one of the best locations to build a base in the entire early access so far. It's right underneath this folding table that you can't get to in the non-playable area, but it's where I've chosen to set up my base for the time being. As you can see, we're already at the extent of the playable area. It's the under construction tape here, preventing you from going back there. So this location, after more of the game is released, may become one of the worst on the list, so keep that in mind. But for right now, low flow of bugs coming through here, decent amount of resources around as well, and a lot of flat area for you to build. I personally don't believe that this is the best location on the list. This is just the first one that I found to set up a base at, so let's dive into some of the other ones. And while we're getting to the next location, can we talk about how cool riding around on an orb weaver actually is? It's amazing, and if you hold on for after the second location, I'll go ahead and show you where you can find the orb weaver eggs to get one of your very own. If you go just behind the frozen ice cream stall in Grounded 2, you're going to find a calculator laying on the ground. Right next to it is a rock, and that is also one of my favorite locations to build on. There's a lot to do around here and a lot of great resources. You do have to be careful if you get a little too close to the frozen area if you don't have your chili armor, but there's enough distance here to build. Lots of great resources and a lot of great access to one of the pine trees in the game, giving you some even better resources, and one of the great locations of orb weaver eggs. I'll show you that one in just a moment here. Now this area, it's not going to be that great in terms of flat ground. There are a bunch of different elevations here, but if you're looking to build a multi-level base, this could be one of the greatest locations for you. Plus you're going to need to go inside of the ice cream stall anyway, so why not hang out here? Alright, so I mentioned earlier that I'd show you guys the best location to find the orb weaver eggs. I'm in creative mode right now, so the bugs are not going to bug me, but they will if you are not in creative. Behind the ice cream stall, see the bells there on the handle? Behind the ice cream stall, right at the foot of the pine tree, you're going to find this little cave with some orb weavers and orb weaver juniors inside of it. Be very careful going inside of it, but down here is where you are going to find those orb weaver eggs. Just travel all the way to the back here and you'll stumble onto them back here. This isn't the only location in the game to find it. This is just the easiest location to get the orb weaver egg early on, so that way you can have the faster of the two mounts available in early access. Next up, if you're just south of our good friend BURG.L and his feet here, you're going to find all of these flat bricks, making another great location to build a multi-level base. Lots of available land here, but you're kind of sandwiched in between a couple of risks. If you head up this way just a little bit, you're going to see a stink bug and you want to stay away from him. And if you get too close to BURG.L, you're going to start activating some spider lanes and some orb weavers as well. However, this location can be one of the better locations in my opinion, simply because you got access to a ton of different weeds through all the dandelions. You got dry grass available, you got normal grass available, you got fibers from all the spiders back there, bunch of other great resources that are just around and about. So check this one out if you're looking for kind of a one-size-fit-all location. All right, so as you can see, our next location is up there in the garden, but if you haven't gotten the ascents just yet, you got to go back this way and do a little bit of building to get there. So first things first, we're going to grab our orb weaver again and then get up onto our microphone here. There's an orb weaver bridge that gets us across, and then up these pebblet foundations that you can build on the side here, and then we are up to the garden area. Again, I'm in creative, so these bugs are not going to bug me, but they will get you, so please be careful. So we're going to use the plants to get to the next level here, and then just watch yourself, because this is kind of a maze. If you haven't gone through it the first time, it is kind of a pain, so make sure that you just kind of hang there. We are heading back into the bushes, so this one does take a little while to get to, but get all the way in the back of the bushes and you will find an entrance back here. It's a little hard to get through with the orb weaver, but you can get through it, that's for sure. But if you do want to bring the ant back here, the soldier ant, that might be a better bet, just because it's a little smaller. But what you want to do is keep working your way around until you find this little opening right here. You're going to know you're at the right one if you see the styrofoam cup with the raw science on top of it. But work your way to the other side and you're gonna find probably the safest location that I have found in the game so far. Now we are right underneath all of the bushes and the garden right next to that spotlight here, but I have not found a single enemy hanging out here and spending any time back here. But there's not that many resources back here. You're gonna be very limited about the type of base that you're gonna be able to build. Most of the grass back here is dry, and so you're gonna need to be bringing all of your resources back here yourself. The location is great. The resources though, not so much. So there is a little bit of a saving grace here. You do get these flowers and dandelions back here, and so that does help you out a little bit in the resource gathering, so you're able to do things like weed stems and things like that. But ultimately it is still not the greatest location for resources. Make sure you get this milk molar underneath the spotlight. So if you're looking at building something a little bit safer, this might be the one for you. Find the yoked girth ad and look for the rope over here. Jump up onto the rope and then carefully crawl yourself up to this post up here. Now, this of course is not going to be your best spot for resources, but a relatively safe location that has some great views, and it's again very small, but you know how you can build and ground it and make things a little bit better. Now there is another one of these directly across from you over here, and a few more scattered about the park as well. However, this one is the most flat, so if you are looking to build up a little bit and you don't want to go onto a spot that's a little bit more chaotic, this might be the one for you. All right, to get to our next spot, you are going to have to go past this one already. This one's going to take a little bit of skill to get to, but if you bring your orb weaver, you'll definitely be all right. So from the last base location, simply follow the ropes going the other side to the other posts. Eventually you'll find this orb weaver bridge. Of course, if you're not in creative, make sure you look out for orb weavers. Then keep going across this log with all the toy soldiers on it, and you will get up to the pine trees up in the corner. That's our location. Man, the wolf spiders got a lot hairier, didn't they? Last up, if you go behind the 2 pine trees in the back of the park, there's the picnic table over there. You're gonna find one of those cars that you also found in the backyard as well. And look at this entire space. This is probably one of the larger locations that's on this list. You do have a couple enemies that you got to be careful about. Obviously the snail's not going to do anything, but there are going to be some orb weavers traveling through here, some spiderlings, some other things as well. And so you want to just kind of keep your head on a swivel if you choose to build here until you get your defenses in check. The other thing that I wanted to point out is there is a mantis over this way. Sorry, Orby. There is a mantis over this way. So you want to be very, very careful traveling through here. Again, I am in creative, and so I can do stupid stuff like this. Make sure that you go back here and check out your little mole skeleton again, just like in the backyard. But if you go over to this cage, this little cage back here, got a gold molar for you to take out. And so there you have it. There's the best base locations that I have found so far in Grounded 2. Obviously, I'm going to keep scouting pretty much every single day that I can to find even more places to build, and then also showcase some builds of my own. Every single plan I had for Grounded is now going to be readapted and put into Grounded 2 here. So I hope you guys like this one, and if you're a fan of Grounded 2 or base building in general, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if I missed your favorite spot that you're currently building at, let me know where it's at in the comments. I want to check out locations from you guys too. And with that being said, this is Kevin for Base Legend. See you guys in the park.